It is nice. I like this. Much better than trying to send me invites that don't come through on my Huawei.
Doot. Toot toot toot. Oh my
That
goodness, we're
setup's
live.
nice though.
It is a nice
Microphone and
setup.
everything. Yeah.
Yes. Hot diggity dog, me get a microphone. Now let me share this all over the place.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what to do. I don't literally not know what to do. I just often don't know what to do in the moment. It's like I know I've got to do. Oh, I pasted instead of copying. Silly Billy. Dag nabbit. Now I got to do all of that again. Overcomers Wisdom Sessions, ironically named.
I was gonna say, I don't know how much wisdom's gonna come out of this tonight. I'll
Well,
try my best.
yes. Ah, looks like Sarah already there. Goodness, Sarah. And there's Angeline as well. Hi, Angeline. Bonk, can you see the comments?
Aha. At the bottom,
Yes,
yeah?
yeah. Well, if you're in StreamYard, well, I don't know, are you on your phone?
No, no.
So
I
on your
didn't
laptop.
trust that.
Ah, yes. So if you're on your laptop, you can, on the right hand side, just click far right, says comments. You just click there and you can see the full stream of comments streaming
Oh.
commently in there.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, much
It's
better.
cool, eh? Talking
Nice.
vision tonight. Hashtag, hashtag. Boom shakalaka. Yeah.
One as we are one.
That's Sarah. Yeah. Sarah is one as we are one. She's like really
Okay.
into this vision. I'm not entirely sure why, but I like her for it.
Nice.
We've got some like awesome people who watch and hang out with us.
Yeah.
There's Christy.
It's a hi,
Christy.
Christy.
Christy, why don't you come join us? Let me send you a linky,
Yes.
Christy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make
Mm-hmm.
excuses and say that you're working and stuff. Nobody believes you.
Oh man, this is so cool. I love StreamYard. I see why you've been going on about this.
It's very convenient. Angeline
Mm,
says she likes it
nice.
because the Lord is speaking. Hallelujah. I like that.
Yes.
Sarah says
Yeah,
she likes it
I
because
wouldn't
it's
question why people
amazing.
are drawn to this. It's just about the best thing in the world.
I'm glad. That's a nice opinion to have. Oh, Christy's gonna join us in 15 minutes. I'll send you
Yay!
the linky so long. Christy said when you're ready in 15 minutes, you can
Nice.
grab it.
Oh, I miss you guys so much. It's been too long now.
She's like, I
Too
am
long
busy,
already.
but give me 15 minutes. Christy's amazing.
That's a nice butt. The butt with a
Ah,
solution.
yes. Only kind of butts we like around here, butts with solutions attached to them.
Exactly.
The world is ending, but I have a life jacket.
Exactly. Everything fell
Yeah.
apart, but I fixed it.
Yes. Yeah, not a problem for every solution. Yesy,
Mm.
did you see the chat with Mark this afternoon?
No. Mark Ellis.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
it was really good, eh?
no. I'm
Because
a
I did a bit
fan
of like
now.
doof doof, and then
Yeah.
he came on probably about an hour or so in, and then we chatted vision for like an hour and a half.
Man, I'm
It
so
was
sorry
so
I missed
cool,
that
man.
one. Jeez. Yeah, always the
You can
best.
hunt it down. It's
Always.
called doof doof doof. So later on you
I
can
saw
watch.
the title and I was listening to some other doof doofing in the Daniel restaurant while they were fixing tables. So I thought, I don't know how much more
Oh
doof doof I
yeah,
can do.
yeah. I
Oh
heard
man.
someone was chatting with me in the
Grace.
Grace, yeah. And
Yeah.
it was doof doof in the background, bang bang. Oh, so they fixed the tables in the Daniel restaurant.
It's amazing. Like,
Praise Hallelujah.
no more of this.
So everything,
None.
yes.
Solid tables.
Hey, there's
So
Sorrel.
nice. Hi,
Hi, Sorrel.
Sorrel.
Hello, Sorrel. When I was young, and I'm sure Sorrel in his day as well. I think it was on Willy Valley, Sorrel Seemonster. No, Sorrel Seemonster. No, it was Knersis. But yeah, Sorrel Seemonster, I think, was on Willy Valley.
What is
S-
Vilivali?
yes, like you are like a millennial or something, eh? Like
I am not.
you're not. What are you?
Actually, I don't know how those work.
I think
What
you're a millennial.
what
So what? You're in
constitutes
your
as what?
twenties, eh? So if you're
Yes.
in your twenties, then it's 2022 now. You're a millennial. Yeah, if you're born in the 90s, I think you're a millennial.
In the 90s, okay. And then what is a Gen Z?
Gen Zs,
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it's like who's being born now. Gen Ys and Zs are born after the millennials, if I understand it
Okay.
correctly.
So what are you
I'm a
then,
Gen
Ray?
X. I'm a
Gen
Gen
X.
X.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
the heavily brutalized by the boomers. Boomers are the ones who suffered the most.
Yes.
And the
Well,
boomers were treated
we
harshly by
survived.
life, and the Gen
Yes.
Xers were treated harshly by the boomers. And
Yes.
then the
And the
Gen
generational
Xers,
curse carried on.
yeah, and then the Gen Xers raised you lot, who don't really like work. You're more social justice warriors and floaty woaty generation. And you're raising a generation that likes to fight for stuff. Ah, there, see, Sarah's also
Yeah.
a Gen X. Generally, Gen
Nice.
Xers are we're a vicious bunch,
Yeah.
But when we get
But
it
good
right, we're
fishes.
okay. So
Exactly.
we
Yeah.
were raised by a hard generation. Eh? Yes, the
Yeah.
boomers, hard, very hard.
No joke.
Yes.
I think with the
um,
age differences
yeah.
in my family, I was also raised by some boomers, to be honest.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
it's like
think my parents and your parents are the same age.
yeah, like the the boomers are very much worried about your future, so they want you to be educated and work hard, and you know
What are you
that's
gonna
why
have to
like
fall back on?
yeah, what are you gonna have to fall back on? Yeah, yeah, very concerned about the future. Courts, So tonight we're gonna talk vision. Um,
Yes.
I think Alex might join us. Kat might join us. Christy said she
Oh,
might join us.
that would be nice.
So it's gonna be fun.
How
Okay,
many people can
so
you have on here?
10.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very cool.
10. Yeah. This is, Angeline says, boomers, we all got beat by our parents. Yes, education.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
it's very funny.
Ah!
There's
Pastor Greg, hello.
yeah, Greg's a
Oh,
cool cat, eh?
ah, so cool.
And and there's a Philip.
Hi, Philip.
Philip, what was it like when you baptized that eunuch? Because he said, "What's to stop me from getting baptized here and now?" And
Yeah.
Philip was like, "Nothing. Pull over." Do you know the story of Philip and the eunuch?
No.
Philip, Philip,
Hi. Well, thanks.
Courtney is like a hippie Christian, so your wording, although correct, needs to be the other way around. It's how high are you?
Those are the good old days. Not so
Good
good,
old days.
actually. No. The days of like no drive and lots of depression.
Yes, that's when it's how
Yeah.
high are you. Philip was awesome being transported, and I enjoyed it. It was fun. Yeah, that's how the gospel got to Ethiopia through Philip. He says he is tall, so it's how high are you? 6'4". Shanae says hi.
Very high.
Hi, Shanae.
Hi.
So, yeah.
Yes.
So
Vision.
okay. So Courtney, I'm gonna break down the vision, and then you
Okay.
can expound on it. Hey, there's Bonga.
Okay.
Bonga bonga. Dum 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 dum. He's been living a long life, says Philip, because he's 6'4". What's that in what's 6'4" in the thingy?
Meters?
Hmm.
Isn't it like 2 point something? No. 1.9? I'm not sure. In dog years. Oh,
And yeah,
yeah, like
what is
194. Yeah.
uh yeah,
Just
because
under
you know
2
I
meters.
don't always understand, you know, like feet, what feet and inches and stuff. That's like how many dog how many dog paws are there in a potato gem squash?
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel about it as well.
1.94.
So they're trying to be like, this many inches.
Yeah, I'm 187. So Philip is a little
Okay.
bit taller than I am. He's 194.
Sure, okay. Wow.
Hey, there's Jaden. Hello, Jaden. Jaden Brandt.
Hello.
He's my cousin, appropriate age to be my nephew. He's in Makanda, which should be Wakanda. Jaden, imagine if they just turned the M upside down and
Around.
made it Wakanda. Yeah, then Grahamstown. Yay, Alex! I've sent you a linky
Yay.
on Facebook Messenger. That's gonna be so cool. Alex is gonna join us.
That's so funny. I was just reading some Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy forewords in what's that book? A Brief History of Everything, 42.
Oh yes.
When all else fails. The
Yeah.
answer to all the questions.
Jaden says, "I'm your cousin's child." Yes,
I'm your
which makes
cousin's
you also my cousin, like a second cousin. But you're the
Yes.
right age to be a nephew. So, ich weiß nicht. Hey, there's Leon. Greg is like, hey, there's Alex. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Let's move things
Hi!
around here, man.
Hello.
There we
Oh,
go.
that's cool.
Hi, Kim. I don't even know if I've got a microphone on here.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah? Oh, okay.
We
Good.
don't even phone
Like
you've got a microphone on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Courtney needs more light in her room, and then your camera will be better. But I mean, you look fine. It looks good. It's cool.
Yeah,
We're all
I'm not
cool
in the
cats here.
media department tonight. So
Yeah. It's what as Greg says, when you win the wars you make the rules. Yeah, see they renamed Grahamstown to Makan. I was born in Grahamstown. That's where I was born. Let me just get rid of the
Yeah.
things that my eyes aren't missing. It's like
just duck, Rev. Duck.
quack quack. There we go.
Nice.
So I was born in Grahamstown. That's where Jaden is. Jaden,
Okay.
my second cousin, my cousin's son.
So they've renamed
and
it.
they renamed it to Makanda. Now Makanda is a Xhosa chief who never won a single war, ever. He didn't win a single
Okay.
battle. So I'm like, okay, if you're gonna rename it after that guy, why don't we just turn the M upside down, and then it's Wakanda. Then I can say
it.
I was born in Wakanda. Wakanda forever. Yes. See.
Oh man.
Philip says, what
Making a
should we
trip to
rename
Grahamstown.
Parais to then?
Hmm.
I reckon we should rename Parais to Overcomers. Yes.
Yes. Full stop. It'll
The
get there.
Gotham Light.
I love that one because I had similar thoughts, but I didn't want to be
Gotham
sad.
Light. Where am I living now? I'm in Parais. I'm in the Free State. Well, I'm in the northwest, but if I
Yes.
had a stronger arm and I could throw across one of the widest parts of the Vaal River, 500 meters, I'd be able to throw a stone into the Free State.
Yeah,
So
we're
I'm
not
right
going to
here.
try that again though. The last time was
Yeah, I
really
nearly hit a
scary.
car last time. Yeah.
Oh
Anyway,
man.
so hello, Alex. How you doing?
Good. Just busy homeschooling and surviving.
Oh wow. That's cool.
Yeah, you've got like 400
Experience.
children.
I have 5. I did my part. I multiplied.
That is
Yes, you did your part.
Yeah.
a lot. Wow.
Are you on your phone, Alex?
No, I'm on a laptop.
Oh, great. So if you want to see the comments flowing on the right-hand side, you'll see there's a comments bottom top right,
Okay.
and then you'll see all the comments from the different platforms
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
popping up there. Wow. Look what's about to happen here. Boom.
Hi.
Ah, Pastor
Christy, so pretty.
Hello, everyone.
Why, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So now we've got, so Courtney is South Africa, Christy is United States of Awesome Flow Rider, and Alex is in Canada.
Canada.
Oh, beautiful.
You're not in
Wow.
Vancouver, eh? You're somewhere else in Canada.
No, I'm right like dead center in the middle of Canada, in the
Oh,
prairies.
is it?
Wow.
Mhm.
I
Oh.
definitely want to go there one day. Gonna tour that whole section. The USA and Canada. Oh, wow.
You must do like a vlog tour where you go and meet all the Overcomers online family.
Mm.
Like go there and say,
Man,
we're
that
we're
would be
at
amazing.
we're at the Rezansoff family residence, and there are 2,000 children running around half naked, screaming and hanging off everything here.
Oh, man.
Greg says the Overcomers World Summit. Yeah, this is what I want to do, man. Every day I just want to have like people from all over the world. Jane says, is Alex from America? Because she looks like American people.
I'm a higher grade from Canada.
Yes. Yeah, she's too woke to be American, so God put her in
Everyone
in
moves
Canada.
Mhm.
So Leon feels like I'm a work again, outnumbered. Yeah. So Alex, so 5 kids.
Yeah.
Greg says, check out Greg's comment. Jane, they all look alike Americans. They do, eh? I mean, I couldn't tell the difference between Ned and Greg.
Oh,
Philip says, just experience load shedding and bam, you multiply. Christy looks like South Africa did you good, man. Look, your hair's all pretty.
Did. Well, I went and got my
eh?
hair done a little bit more, but I loved it there. Came back with a good tan.
it looks like it. Oh. Is
Yeah,
it
for
winter
sure.
there by you now?
It
I-
is,
what
but
is
it's
happening?
still.
Yes.
We have like a couple days where it'll get cold, and at night it gets down to like the 50s, maybe high 40s right now. But it's like 83 out there right now. So we're all wearing
It's me trying to
winter clothes
calculate
though.
things in inches again.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yes.
sorry. That would be like really hot.
So if it's really hot, is it Fahrenheit? And if it's cold, is it Fahrenheit? How do
Yes.
you, is it near and far? Is that how you?
Yes, it is. Yeah. So the higher the
So-
number, the hotter it is.
So it's Fahrenheit,
Yeah.
and in winter it's Fahrenheit.
Yes. Mhm. I
And
think
you measure that in turtle shells.
yes. But like the baby turtle shells, not the big ones.
Okay.
Alex, whose feet do you use when you measure feet?
Well, not mine. I got like little dwarf feet. I use Harold's man.
Man feet. What size is Harold's shoes?
Like typical 10.5.
That is typical.
Okay. Yeah.
So you got 10 and a half. I thought it was like 48 and all that kind of. I am a 13 to 14.
Okay. We're not using your feet to measure anything.
I was like, Lovey, do my feet make these shoes look big, or do these shoes make my feet look big? And she says, it's proportional. You're a mountain. Anyway, so Alex, what's it like having
Yeah.
54,000 children?
Yeah, do you homeschool them alone? How does that work? with
Yes.
5 kids?
Well, yeah. I mean, we have like school meetups. I'm not doing like an
Okay.
official co-op this year, but yeah, I do. Yeah, I do all the educating myself. I use very
Sure.
good curriculums. It's very well laid out, so there's really no brain work involved. So
But like
So you're ready
one
to
at a
move to South
time,
Africa
or-
and run our school?
that's
Yeah,
what Harold
give us
says.
some pointers.
We were just talking last night. He's like, I have to go there. I'm like, I know. It's just the logistics of getting to you guys. Why are you so far away? But
Yeah. Why are you so far away?
why? Yeah.
Sorry.
We are coming one
Stop
day, and we're
walking.
gonna bring the whole circus. It's gonna be mayhem.
That's gonna be awesome, eh?
That really would be awesome. Eh?
Mhm.
Okay, so let's talk vision, right? So this is a vision chat, and the reason we've got 3 ladies on is because I've had some crazy dreams, some ridiculous dreams, and it keeps talking about how women will set the atmosphere and make the vision possible. And I heard the words administrative precision over and over and over and over
Yeah.
and over and over. And so like my prayer focus has been that God would bring us strong women, and that our ministry would heal women and disciple them, all that kind of thing, and that's really been a great strategy, because our strategic focus is children, and
Yeah.
it seems like when the women are whole,
Mm.
it's easier to fix the men,
Much
know?
easier, and the children.
which is why Christy is single, because there's like so few strong men out there. Most of them are like little pooh bears running around, offended at everything, intimidated by wisdom and strength. And I don't know. So let's talk about that part of the vision, the importance of, because it's not biased. It's not like I've got 3 women on the show to talk about the importance of women in a vision, but like, if we're going to pastor 14,000 children, and if we're going to, so yeah, in South Africa, it's the unsafest place in the world to be a woman.
Yeah.
Literally the most unsafe place in the world to be a woman. And that means that we have to raise an entire generation of children, and also women to be a lot more conscious of the realities of living in a place that is culturally, spiritually, politically geared to victimize and abuse, really,
Yeah.
women. So I mean, you don't see it much in kind of in our circles, because we're so protective, but it's definitely a national issue. So let's start with Alex, and then go to Christy, and then to Courtney. See, there's an S in there, because I always say Courtney when I speak to her. Okay, so Alex, are you ready for this question?
Okay, I feel like I'm doing like
Okay.
a pop quiz. I hope I don't fail.
Yes.
There's no wrong
the
answers.
winner gets a prize. I don't know what the prize is. We'll make one up. Hey, Katlego.
Hey,
Okay, so Bishop. Okay, so here's the question, Alex. Are you ready for it?
Yep.
Okay, so how important do you think a collective of mothers is if we're going to look after 14,000 kids, and what do you think that looks like?
Ooh, good question. I mean, we often stress the importance of a father figure in a home, but I think we miss the fact that it's equally as important to have a really good mom in the home. For like what you said, like not only does the mom kind of steer the ship and cast the vision and move the family forward, but there's a deep, deep desire in all of us to be nurtured and loved and cared for. And when we're not receiving that as women, especially, we will go out and we will find that elsewhere. And so when you have a vision where you're trying to grab these kids and set a better course for their life, what better way than to start by actually giving them mothers? Because they're going to come in no matter their age. They're going to be immature. They're probably going to have, sometimes if you do like trauma work and stuff, you'll get stuck at an age. So a lot of these kids are going to be stuck at a much younger age than they actually chronologically are. So you need to start with that nurturing, that loving, that mentorship of a mother before you can bring in this like strong father figure for them. So I think you guys are right on point. If that is where your vision's going right now, is to surround these kids with mothers, I think that's bang on. I think that's the best place to start, because a mom is always your safe place.
Mm.
Wow. I nearly gave my life to Jesus during that incredible answer. I don't know, Christy, your thoughts along the same lines?
I think it is. I think you have to start with a mom, because that's, I mean, I think no matter what home you're in, you start with knowing like your mom's your safe place. And these kids who've gone through these horrible things, that if they don't have that, they don't feel safe. And I think more than anything, what you're trying to accomplish there is these kids, they feel safe to be able to engage in God, to be able to actually come out of the trauma and out of the pain, and be able to get to that point of where they forgive and they get rid of the bitterness and they can come out and be whole people. Well, that's hard to do if you don't have that mother figure and that father figure in your life. And not everyone's blessed enough to have a mom and dad, your biological ones. And even at times, like, your parents always do the best they can, but everyone misses something at some point. So I think it's awesome that you guys are starting there with strong women, and you need strong women around, because what's the saying? Like, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. I mean, I don't care how old you get, that's still the same thing. Like, yeah. And moms are important. I need my mom still at times. There are moments when I'm like, I need my mom in this moment, and I'm grown. So moms are important, and you'll always need your mom. You always need that mother figure. And I know I've got friends who, like, either their parents have passed or, their moms live far away, and they look for a spiritual mom wherever they're at, which I think is great. And there are those ladies out there that are able to do that for those kids, for these young adults or the children in our area. I've seen where it's really good, and you do need that mother figure. And I want to say this, and I've noticed this in the church in America more than anything, is a lot of your youth pastors are men. Mm-hmm. And youth pastor men, when they're right out of college, are probably some of the most immature people I've ever met. And they just want to have class, which is fine. Like, you need that. And I honor them in that space. But a lot of times you miss that mother figure. And you miss that person that these kids can actually connect with emotionally. And so at that young of an age, like, that mom figure in their life is so important. Yeah.
Is Courtney?
Hello. Yeah, I guess I've always struggled with this, because I've always thought, like, what is the importance of a mom? Sometimes I want to opt out, but they really do need the two. Dads are really great for that structure and that guidance. But yeah, moms are the cuddly ones. They provide that soft comfort, that space to let out all the emotions, to be vulnerable in. And I feel like here we have quite a community of mothers, and it's been amazing. Like, even for me as a grown person, like Pastor Mandy, Pastor Kathy, even people like Mavis and Auntie V, and they're just like this community of mothers with all these different perspectives. And no matter where you go, you've got this like nurturing environment where they're showing you love. And I've learned so much about how a mother should love their children from it. And I think it's absolutely vital to have that part in a child's life. No matter where the kids go here on the land, there is some sort of motherly figure. And we've learned so much through intentional atmosphere, how much weight we hold really with setting the atmosphere in a family, in a room, anything. And that really opened my eyes to think, we actually do hold a lot of power in the dynamic of a family or community. And that, until I got here, I'd never really thought too much about it. I didn't have that kind of train of thought growing up as to how important each parent's role was in things. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that nurture has really changed my perspectives on life since I've been here. And I think it's absolutely fundamental that they grow up with that nurturing side that they can always rely on when they need comfort.
Mm-hmm. So, you three are pouring wisdom, eh? Gee whiz. I think we can end the stream now. That was very good.
Done.
I got another great question, but first let's say hello to all the new folks who came here. There's Jason. He liked what Alex had to say. Angeline
Tanya.
complaining about the fact that it's going to be dark.
It is. It's
Sarah,
getting darker early, which is not fun.
America. Yeah.
Bedtime.
Yes, there. Philip also enjoyed Alex's wisdom drops over there. There's Greg explaining to Jaden why there's time zones.
Appreciate that, Greg, because I don't know.
Love to cuddle the kids that are the outcasts, the ones who aren't seen or ignored. Exactly, the invisible people, the invisible children. There's Tanya, says, hi
Tanya.
pastors, hi courts. Moms are our security blankets, absolutely.
Yeah.
Liska dropping some lekker scriptures, Isaiah 66. As one whom his mother comforts, so I will comfort you. Isaiah 49. Can a mother forget her nursing child? Can she feel no love for the child she has born? Proverbs 31 verse 25. She's clothed strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. Angeline greeting Faye. It's okay to greet Faye. Hi Faye. One is we are one. Sarah says moms equals love and acceptance. Yeah, that's what they're supposed to. Harold dropping some toxic masculinity.
That's great.
The estrogen party. It was an estrogen party before I invited them here. Dude, I'm at that age now. Philip's like a mic drop from all you ladies. Absolutely. Very, very good. Christy, I have a question for you. What is it with America with the Eastern Standard Time and stuff? Because, okay.
Greg answered that one.
Yeah, Greg answered that one for you, Jane. Just read the comments. Sarah is also laughing at all the estrogen flying around. I mean, 4 of us. You know, this beard covers up my my estrogenness. Okay, are you guys ready? So can we get a bit controversial? Seeing this.
Yeah.
Sure.
Can I say
Yeah,
one more
let's-
thing about motherhood?
Yes.
It was a thing I struggled with my little ones. They would be fine at school, at their friends, anywhere else in the house, and then as soon as they get to me, they're just like crying and tantrums, and I was like, well, why is this happening? Why do you always have to act like this with me? And we did some research into it, and it really is like mothers are that security blanket for children. So they feel safe enough with their mothers that all the emotions that they're holding in all day, you know, pretending to be fine, anything that they're dealing with, they keep it for their moms to let it all out
Yeah.
because they know that they can with her. And I found that my irritation turned into absolute compassion for understanding what we were to them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Shawnee
Yeah.
says you're their safe place.
Mm.
Tony says, I've learned how important mothers are after raising my own and now raising children of other mothers. Absolutely. Harold says, so true. Okay, so here's my question. So we spoke about, you gals drop some epic nuggets there on the importance of mothers. And, you know, our strategy, and I consistently visualize this group of moms, like I'm talking hundreds of them, who are this collective mom hive that any child just comes into and just gets accepted and loved and raised and you know. Now here's my controversial question. So a lot of times the ladies in a ministry, instead of aiming to be a mom, they kind of go in the other direction. And now remember, I am a full-time intercessor, literally. So I believe in intercessors, and I've really have the honor of having a massive, couple of thousand strong now, international intercessory team. All of them have gone past at least 3,000 hours of prayer. Most of them on our advanced prayer teams are 7,000. So I believe in intercessors.
Wow.
So what I say now, I don't say lightly. How do you guys feel about when women, instead of really embracing what I believe. Men cannot be men without good mothers. I believe that 100% because they don't understand the importance of treating their wives well and raising their children properly without a good reference point. And why do you think so many strong women in ministries, they'll head into intercession groups, they'll start these groups, and then instead of those groups becoming a support, it becomes an attack. I don't know if you've noticed that. It becomes like almost witchcrafty in its nature. They'll start. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. If you've seen that,
I have.
okay, you don't. Okay, so Christy,
No, I
knows-
haven't.
I don't.
Yeah.
So you haven't really seen, because you haven't really been in churchianity
No.
much, eh, Courtney? Yeah.
No.
So,
Lucky
so
you.
Overcomers is your first deep dive.
Yeah. I
Lucky
was
you. Is that what
away
you said,
with Paul
Christy?
until I came here.
Yeah, but it's incredible. I mean, I just saw how a mother figure in another ministry got a lady to burn all her art, saying that prophecy is witchcraft, that doing prophetic things is witchcrafty, and I've seen that so much. It's my 30th year or so, maybe longer, in ministry, and I've seen that women can either make that ministry incredible, make it explosive and awesome, or it becomes a hellhole. Now, so I think we can start with Christy this time. Alex is nodding, so it seems like she's seen it a bit as well. And specifically how women can be so brutal to other women. So Christy, I don't know. Am I missing the mark? Have I been biased in what I've noticed, or do you think there's something to that thing in mainstream?
I guess I've been in ministry now for about like 13 years, like actually kind of like helping run a ministry or overseeing a ministry of some sort. And I've had a lot of work with, so for 6 years, I actually did work with me and my best friend. We had a young girls ministry. So we ministered to middle school, high school, and college age girls. And we went all around the country, all around the world, and we did conferences and all this stuff.
Wow.
And what I even noticed, like in our kind of little group of like leaders that we had, was there would become this moment where that love and that nurturing would kind of walk out the door from people. And I was like, why are you so mad? Why are you upset? And it's almost like it comes from a place of either one, like you were not nurtured well as a child and you weren't given that space to find love from your own mom, or like women first. And I know I see it, I don't know how it is everywhere else, but in America, women are very much told, like, you need to rise up, you need to act, be strong, be powerful, be bold, be all these things. Great, wonderful. But that's not who we are inherently. And I think when you actually go back to the true core of who you're supposed to be, who the Lord says you're supposed to be, all those things happen for you. Like, people do listen, but we want it so bad, and it turns into a control aspect more than anything I've noticed. Control comes in, and then like you have bitterness, you have just offenses with people. And I've seen it in that intercession realm where people are just mad when they pray, which that is probably the one thing that just irritates me more than anything. I'm like, we're coming in to worship God, to praise him, to come in and hear his heart, and all you want to do is yell and scream about something that happened outside in the world. And it comes from a place of just, I think the root is unforgiveness and bitterness inside of these women. And not to say, I think we've all probably been there at some point. We've all had struggled with that, but you have to at some point say, I'm letting go of all of that, and I'm going to choose what God has for me, and know my place. I think a lot of women, they don't know their place. They don't know who they are in Christ. They don't know who God told them to be. And if you can get to that point, you don't really care who's leading what. You just want to be a part, and you want to love God, and you want to love his people. And I think that's where women need to get to. They need to get over wanting to be the best, wanting to be the top person, wanting to do better than a guy. Like they need to get past that, especially women in ministry, and they need to just truly focus in on, okay, God, why am I here? What is my purpose in this? What is my call in this ministry, in this prayer team, in the children's ministry? I mean, I know one thing we struggled with for a while was no one wanted to be in children's ministry at our church. They just didn't. And honestly, I kind of get that, because my pastor, Pastor Lacey, had to check me one day, because I was like, I'm called to a lot. And she was like, yeah, but you need to do this first. And I was like, oh, you're so right. I do. I'm not having the heart of God in this moment. And now I'm like head of our children's ministry here, but it's hard to get these women to come in. And I think also you get a lot of moms who are just tired. And I don't have any kids, so I'm speaking as someone who, I'm not married, I don't have children, so I don't know what that life is. I just kind of see that life through my brother and my sister-in-law and like other family members that I'm really close to and friends. But I think a lot of times these women, they're tired. And I think I'm getting off track a little bit, but like, I think sometimes they don't want to be a mom because they're tired of being a mom. And they also need a refreshing and some time away, and they need to be loved on and nurtured on, which I think is important. Why you need women who are older than you, no matter what your age is, that can pour into you, that have said, I've walked through that time in my life. I've walked through that space. I've been where you've been. Don't make these mistakes. Go this way, really press into God. But women in America are all about, I can do it myself. And that's probably the last thing you ever want to say to someone is, I can do it myself, because you really can't. We're not called to be isolated. We're not called to be alone. We're called to be in community. But I know in women in America, there seems to be a lot of, they want to control the situation in every aspect, and they have a lot of bitterness and unforgiveness, and they want to do it themselves. They want to prove something. And I'm like, you're not proving anything other than you're not a nice person. So.
Wow. Alex?
I don't know if that answered your question, so.
It answered a lot of questions, and it sparked a thought in my mind about that. It's like another reason why it's so important for community moms, like an army of community moms, to help moms who have got 5 kids, and it's exhausting. Now they have to be moms to a greater community.
Yeah.
If they've got help, it's easier. But anyway, I don't want to jump there. So I don't know, Alex. So on that subject, do you want me to ask the question again, or do you remember the question?
I'll just run with it. I agree with a lot of what Christy said. I was just thinking of like my own personal experience. I've had wonderful experience in ministry, being under really great leadership at my old church. We had a really strong woman who led the kids ministry program. She was fantastic. Like, she was the epitome of administrative precision. She had a heart of gold. And then my recent ministry experience is working on a board for our local food charity Hamper. So we give out food parcels for families, and being on the board there, I can kind of relate to what you said about how it can get kind of toxic when you get a bunch of women together. That doesn't have to be, but it can be. You have to have your heart condition in a place where you are coming to serve and to humble yourself. And a lot of times I think we women are coming in these positions. We're finally given a position outside of our home where we get to have something that's significant. And so we can get really bullheaded with it. And we each think we have the best idea. And so you've got a real clash of personalities. I feel like the Lord kind of just gave me a word to share. And I think the key with a vision is, one, everybody needs to understand what the vision is. So if you are a brand new ministry starting out with a team, you need to collectively as a whole team be 150% on board with that vision, completely committed to it and passionate about it. If you have a vision running and you are gathering more workers, they have to understand the vision, and we need to be uncompromising with it. We've already set the vision and this is the course. Join us or don't. But you're going to mitigate a lot of conflict when you're not, when you really know what you're doing, who you are, the direction you're going. It doesn't leave a lot of room for a lot of that conflict because you're already on the same page. So you already know you're a team. And then within that vision, we get to all work within our own gifting. So your collective of moms, you're going to have moms that are strong in different areas, but they're all going for the same vision. So that was just something I wanted to share.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that is great. I don't know, Courtney, did you have anything on that subject? I know you haven't really been exposed to churchianity as a whole.
Yeah, not so much from the churchianity point of view, but just women as a whole. When there are groups of us, it's very scary. I mean, I've tried to avoid groups of women my entire life. we, as Julie was saying there in the comments, we do get very competitive.
Yeah.
And I agree with what Pastor Christy was saying, you know, like, and even Alex mentioned it, we come from a place where we don't really know ourselves. So we get competitive with each other, trying to figure out ourselves within an organization when we're grouped together. You know, and I think that stems from society always saying, you know, like, you should be this, you should be this weight, you should be this size, you should look like this, whatever. You should be this inside a family, you should be this inside a career. And I don't think many women actually know their place in society and who they are, and what Pastor Kathy always teaches us, how much atmosphere we create, because we can either bring heaven or hell through our intentions. And I've seen, like, when we get together for prayer and everyone's intentions are good, it goes really well. Like what Alex was saying, you know, if you all know your role in it and what you're actually there for, being the greater vision, it's a lot easier. But if you're all there to show off who's best and who can do it better and win the prize of the best female, it becomes a very toxic environment. And I think that's just a thing that happens when groups of women get together, because we don't come from places where we know ourselves, you know. And I get quite intimidated by other women, to be honest, and it takes me a long time to become friends with other women because of it. I find guys a lot easier, you know, easy breezy, things just carry on, no one cares. But
Yes.
you know, like, women are very convoluted creatures, and you need to be sure of yourself when you're in a group of other women, so that you don't form this competitiveness, because it's really easy. Like, you need to understand that you're not there to be the most beautiful and the smartest and everything. You're just there to help a greater cause. You know, if you want to be a community of mothers, you have to be there for the children. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with the recognition you're going to get. It has nothing to do with how many kids are going to love you and what you're doing. It's, you have to be there for them. If you're going to be a safety blanket, you have to be a safe space. You can't be a space that's like feeding off of the atmosphere, if that makes sense.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some great comments as well on the right hand side there. Let me scroll, see what I can get here. Julie says, wasn't many that compare themselves to others, which you guys brought up. Angeline says, so true, many churches beg for people to work in the children's department. When my heart became like the heart, hopefully for Christ, comfortable allowing others to lead, especially if we have cookies and candy. Yes. Greg says, because you ladies aren't tagged, if you want to raise visibility for this particular broadcast, you could share your timeline so your friends see.
Thanks, Greg. I did it.
Was that a question? Someone else. Leon's like, boom shakalaka, preach it, ladies. Elizabeth says, such awesome knowledge. Thank you. Sarai says, I think part of the problem is we women don't give each other room to be great. We don't listen to each other. I think a lot of women feel unheard, unappreciated. That's one thing I'm working on. It's I think something that I really note. There's Jason. He says that children should be the focus. Easy to raise strong kids than it is to heal broken adults. Absolutely. Yeah, it's much easier to raise strong kids than heal broken adults. That's why our focus is the 7-14 window. You know, it's so, you know, from 0 to 7. That's early childhood development and requires a lot of strategy, and hypnosis is happening at that point. So it's the most expensive part for a ministry is the 0 to 7 window. Well, 0 to 4 is very, very expensive because you need lots of volunteers, you need lots of full-time employees to minister in that range, and then 4 years to 7 years, similar. It's basically a creche that you have to start. And that's why you really need a community of mothers who have that focus. So, you know, in general, when a woman, you know, and it's such a, I mean, you guys use the term know your place, and I'm like, ooh, in the wrong ear, that sounds so bad because of the terrible jokes. Mandy and I don't even joke like that with each other. You know, the barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen thing is usually the know your place thing.
Oh no.
Those stupid
Know
jokes, like, you
yourself.
know. Yeah, well, but it is about knowing your place, but in the most positive light possible, because it took me 42 years to know my place. 42 years old, and I finally figured out my place, and that's after being in leadership most of my life. But always not sure if this is the right place for me to be. You know, always like in a position as a leader. So because my mom took her own life when I was 19, I think I was 18 or 19, and my sisters were also late teenagers. But she was a great mom, but depressed for many years. Look at so Harold and Alex, man, they crank out good-looking kids. You see that good-looking
Yo,
little boy?
hey, I
All
was
the
just-
kids are like ridiculously
Gorgeous.
good-looking.
I never put them on the internet. You guys are lucky you got to see 2 of them. Very
Yes,
protective
we
of my
appreciate
kids.
that. Yes, which is wise. Yeah.
Yes.
When you were
Anyway,
saying like
so-
know your place, what we should be saying is know your position, like man your position.
Yeah.
Because you all
Yeah.
have
Oh,
a part
that's
that you
good.
need to play. So it's not like know your place, but like know your role. What's your job? What's your position?
Yes.
What's your mandate?
Yeah, because I know ladies in general are very busy. You know, so any woman worth her biblical salt is a Proverbs 31 woman, which means they will be busier than men. You know, it's I mean, literally, like, you know, I'm a 20-hour workday guy, but I still respect my wife's. When she says she's busy, I back off, because I know, like, my busy and her busy are 2 different busies.
Yeah.
You know, and that positioning, you know, that placement, if you understand and respect each other's roles, becomes very, very powerful. Here's the next question that I wanted to ask in relation to that positioning. I was just mentioning, so my mom passed away, and I got to experience a really good mom. The final few years, so the depression was really eating her alive, and so she was present but not present, you know, because you know that level of depression that produces suicide is really like a cancer. You know, it's a death sentence. Both Kathy and I don't know, by the grace of God, we both survived it. You know, I pray for her often because I know her battle is worse than mine. Because you know, the way ladies are wired in general, obviously there's exceptions to the rule, but a lot more things that can trigger you emotionally, because there's a lot more empathetic interaction that moms have than dads, you know. So I mean, when I get the ahava, you know, I'm the playful guy, you know, so I go, oi, stop that, you know, but we play immediately afterwards. So Mandy and whoever's looking after those kids get the tantrums, and you know, and I walk up there, hey, stop that, and then I come back down. I don't spend that. So the triggers from the children, the triggers from other ladies, the triggers from, you know, when husbands are as we are, nothing in our box. You realize that men literally have a nothing box, like in our brain. You know, you wonder what we're thinking about when we say nothing, literally thinking
Literally.
about nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's like I was sitting on the couch many years ago, and Mandy says, because I'm staring at the TV, but I don't see it. There's nothing there. I've clocked out. You know, it's literally static. You know, that's what's happening in my head. Not a single thought. And then she says, "Lavi, and she asked me about something that's happening there, and I'm like, sorry, what? Because all I hear is, and then she's like, don't you listen to me? And then I'm like, I am now. Geez, like I just did 4 subjects in one go. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, my mom.
Yes.
So when my mom passed away, I find that what kept me alive was this community of moms throughout South Africa in the kingdom. They don't know each other or anything, but just about everywhere I went, it's like they could sense my loneliness. I don't know how to explain it. It was like a nurture in these ladies. So I'd say from about 19 till about 24, until I got married, basically. When I was traveling, and they could sense like the lostness is probably not a word, but I'm going to use it. The lostness that occurs in someone when their mom's gone. We always joke when you're motherless, you know. It's like it's funny when you're drunk, you're motherless. That's the joke here in South Africa, and I felt like that. It's like you're floating, and I imagine entire communities, thousands and thousands of children who are floating in that.
Sure.
That your mom's there, but she's not. You know, so an absent father means the absence of strong morality, but an absent mother is the absence of identity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is the question. It's how do we activate communities of mothers? How do we activate smooth, Tapan, very smooth. How do we activate busy moms to bring them an awareness? So and ladies that are already busy, like Christy naturally looks after a lot of kids anyway, you know, it's your order. But how do we activate collectives to understand that the things that you discern, that emptiness that you naturally discern, and I noticed it without fail, all my travels, I'd go from one city to the other, and God would always have a motherly person, a mom-like person recognizing me, and then I'd come into that ministry, man, and they'd make me lack of chops and fuss over me. There was one lady who every time I came there, she would literally take my shoes off and give me a foot massage, you know, and it wasn't weird at all. It was like a mom, you know what I mean, like incredible, you know, because I was dancing the whole time, and like just take all my clothes, a whole suitcase, knowing that stuff won't be washed because I've been traveling. I was full on, when Mandy met me, I was like full on missionary. Like I had 1 or 2 shirts, and then fix the holes in my shirts, and so how do we activate that on a community, a corporate scale, like a big scale? How do you think? What would activate you? I don't know. Who are we going to start with? Who wants to? Do you guys get the question?
Yeah, I just don't know really how to answer that one. You did end it with, you know, how would that get me involved? And honestly, for me, it was kind of being just pulled into it and being mothered myself by these people. It was inviting them into that. And I've noticed that too with people I've been around that maybe their mom isn't around or they don't have a mom, but inviting them into that circle. And I think that's something that I wish a lot of women would do more. And I think we kind of hit on that earlier, but let's invite people into that circle. A lot of times we're like, no, this is mine. These are my friends. No one else is allowed in. This is my thing. When truthfully, we need to invite these ladies in, because most of the time we're all just looking for a place to be too. We're looking for a place to help. We're looking for a place to serve, to be useful. And I think it's good to have like the certain people, like especially in like your children's ministry, that are truly on fire for like Jesus and his children, like the little ones. When you find that people want to get behind that, people want to get behind that excitement. We have a couple ladies here who are absolutely amazing. They're just, I mean, I honestly, I say I run the children's ministry. I let them do whatever they want to do just because they're amazing and they're so loved by everyone in our church and by the children. I mean, the kids don't even see their parents. They don't even care that their parents are around. They immediately want to go to these ladies. They could literally care less that their parents are in the same room as them once they find these. They're like, nope, that's my person. And they go to them. But also, like, I've also noticed with these ladies, like, they invite not just these children into their sphere, but like other women in the church in. They truly like, there's something about them that they seek these women out, and they're just so kind and loving, and they just draw you in. And when you're around them, you're like, I'm so happy right now. Like, I feel the joy coming off of them. I feel everything that they're putting out, you know, they're, whatever you want to call it. Like, you want to be around them. And when you can be that person, and a lot of it is because they're whole themselves. They're very much whole women. They love the Lord. They know their call. They know where they're supposed to be. They're not fighting for anything. They're not trying to be competitive with anyone else. They're just going, God, I love you, and I know what you've asked me to do, and I'm going to go do it with a full heart, and with joy. And I'm going to love these kids the way that they're supposed to be loved. And I've watched them just kind of pull other ladies into that. And some of them have pulled me into it too, where I'm like, man, I want to be more like her. I'm an awful person. I want to be more like a mom, like this one lady is. I want to be more like that. And I think that's the thing. Like, you got to open up your arms wider, and you've got to stretch out and reach people and bring them into the circle, instead of just saying, no, this is my space. Don't come here.
Yeah, absolutely. I've experienced that a lot with the female mentors here on the land, you know, especially with like intentional atmosphere. You want to be there. You want to draw from that well. And I think mixed with the opportunity to have kids around, it can be a beautiful environment, because a lot of women naturally want to mother, you know. We've got that instinct to just look after little ones. I mean, with Sunday school, I've seen it. I love it when I've got all the kids and I can just cuddle them to death. And you mix that with really good mentorship, and you've got a great thing going. But I think it does definitely come with intention. You can't force people to join a community of mothers if that's not really their instinct or their intention, I guess. But
yeah.
You will draw the right people, like you say. You know, if you start that mentorship, that safety also for other adults to mother them as well. As I think it was Jason was saying, you can't heal broken adults as easy as you can raise strong kids. You know, the more whole the adults, the mothers, the fathers of these communities become, the easier it is to raise the kids. And you get that from the older mentors raising people my age up already to then raise the younger kids, and then the cycle perpetuates in a good way. Yeah.
Nice.
Like Alex.
I'm gonna answer this, and I'm gonna duck out because my kids are
Okay.
out of here. I was just thinking of like my own personal experience. I have done children's ministry my entire faith walk, because I've loved children my whole life. But it got to a point that I burnt out. In church, oftentimes you've got 10% of the people doing 100% of the work. So you get these workers, that just like burn out. And so I got to a point that I just burnt out.
Yeah.
And so I started to resent kids ministry, and I resented the church putting that pressure on me all the time. Like, you need to come and serve. But I'm like, I am tired as a mom. I'm burnt out. Like, I need time. But I would say, if you're putting it out there in such a way that people are feeling pressured or manipulated into it, it's not great. You're not going to attract the right people, and you're going to find a lot of resistance. But when you express in such a way that there's an opportunity to love children that don't have a mother, you get to really sell that side that women want to do. We want to nurture, we want to love, we want to provide care. When you advertise it that way, it helps them be like, oh yeah, you know what? I do want to meet that need. I could meet that need. So I think it's all in the way that we deliver it that will attract the right people. Anyway, my kid's starting to take his clothes off, so I'm going to leave. Thanks for having me.
Bless you, Alex. Thank you so much. Toodles. Wow, she was on for an hour with those kids running all over the place.
That was amazing.
But it sounds to me like momming, Sounds to me
Yeah.
like listening to Alex that we have to make sure there's help available for the moms who want to come and help mom.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yes.
okay, so closing thoughts.
Moms need
I don't
moms.
want to. So, Christy, any closing thoughts? That was an awesome chat. I enjoyed that.
I think also Alex started to touch on this, but when you're starting to bring people in or you've got new people coming in and you're trying to create something, I think it's really good to have people who can discern where people are supposed to be. Like maybe like really look at them and kind of watch them for a little bit and say, where are they drawn to? What is their heart? How do they talk? What are they passionate about? And placing them in those places. And I think moms do a really good job of that. They really know how to go, hey, you're actually not really supposed to go there. You should probably come try this out. You know, I know my mom did that with me. She was like, that's not for you, baby girl. And it was really helpful because it wasn't good for me. I excelled in other things. But I've noticed that through just kind of my own walk with coaching volleyball and coaching these young girls and stuff like that is finding out what they're good at, really listening to them, listening to their heart, and putting them in the place that they're going to excel. And I think a lot of times, sometimes you walk into a church or a ministry and we're so desperate for help that we'll kind of just shove people anywhere, which is not really wisdom. It's actually going to hurt. It's going to hurt them and it's going to hurt the ministry. What you need is you need to kind of figure out, well, what is it that they want to do? How do they want to be a part? And I get it. Some people have no idea what they want. They're just like, I think this is cool. How can I be a part of this? And you're like, well, just try wherever, you know, we've got a need here. And some people like that. Some people want to just fill a need, whatever the need is. But I think it's good to have like your lead team really understand discernment and wisdom on where people should be placed, and not to pressure them to go there, but to truly say, okay, where is it that they want to go, and place them there so they can excel, and so that they
make
can
sure that they've got help.
Do what?
Make sure that they've got help.
Yeah, and it's, I've noticed. I know we're just a small church here in the Panhandle of Florida, but having help for some of these ladies who are stepping up, having help for Lacey and Ned is huge for them to be able to do what they need to do. And there's some other moms and husbands and wives that have really kind of grabbed hold to our vision and grabbed hold to what we're trying to do here. And I can see them, like, they have a need too. Like, their kids they need help with their kids. They need help to be able to get to this and that. And it's important to see who you're dealing with and see how you can help them too. It allows people to want to serve in a greater capacity, I've realized.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if I was that side with you guys, I would totally say, let's put together a team of date night babysitters. We could grow that church so fast. Because in America, there's just nobody helping the moms. They do everything themselves.
There isn't. And that was something that I think we're so used to kind of doing everything ourselves over here. America's not really about community. America's about, I can do it myself. This is my family. This is about me. I'm going to do what I want to do. It's not about community. Not something we're trying to change here, is to make it more community based. But when we were in South Africa, like, the help was amazing. Like, I mean, because I know for me personally, like, I'm with my nieces and nephews a whole lot. One, just because I love them to death and I'd do anything in the world just hang out with them. They're awesome kids. But two, like, I also know that Ned and Lacey need help at this point.
Yes.
But when we were in South Africa, I was like, I didn't have to do anything. Like, I mean, I did at certain times, you know, but for the most part, like, Charisse and all of your people there, they were on it with the kids, and you could tell, like, and I watched and I could tell, it's like, they truly love these children and they've never met them. They just have a heart for these kids, and they see a need and they filled the need, you know, and they went above and beyond is what they did. And it was amazing to witness that. And when we left, we all kind of looked at each other and was like, we need that. Like, we need to start making what's happening over here. We need that to be a part of this.
Wow.
I think that if you crack that nut, you will have the fastest growing church in the United States. If you crack, because that is something I saw a lot in my travels, is because yeah, community is very challenging in the United States, and the people who do start communities are really usually very strange. You know, and 'cause, you know, that's why, you know, like I realize why people would say we're a cult, you know, because you know we're like super duper focused on community, but we're hyper inclusive. We're not exclusive, and this is the biblical model, because in listening to the words of
Exactly.
Jesus every day, which includes, for me, Luke and Acts are the same book, you know. So I listen to Acts also as part of my 3 hours most days. If I make it to Acts in those 3 hours, and I don't get stuck on some random section that I get excited about and listen to over and over. But like when I get to Acts, I just see community, 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 and it's not weird. It's built for the economy of scale, you know, where everyone can help and everyone can jump in, and you can afford help. You know, as a community, when you're pooling resources, you know, you only need 2 teachers for 10, 3 teachers for 20, 4 teachers for 50. You know what I mean? It's like as it scales up, you're able to manage those kids. And I keep thinking, man, whichever ministries are clever enough to prioritize financially and ministry-wise a system to support those communities somehow, just on moms having a bit of time to themselves at night.
Yeah.
Just like a husband and wife being able to go on a date. I think you will crack that nut easily. It'll be like revival, because you'll have hundreds of kids and you'll spend time with them and they'll grow up and they'll become volunteers, but the parents will really start understanding and buying in and actually become part of those things. Monday night, some of the moms say, okay, I'll take it. Some of the dads say, yeah, we'll do like a barbecue for all the teenagers on Friday night. You ladies go on a ladies' night out, you know. Like if you just focus on how can we become an essential service, because that's the question we asked here. Do you know, during lockdown, Christy, I don't know if we testified this, but we didn't slow down. We grew. We traveled freely. Yeah, there was, because we were deemed an essential service. And I feel like if churches are praying and doing worship and going crazy, but they still don't become an essential service to that community, then they're kind of missing a little summon over there. You know?
No, you're absolutely right. You are missing something if you're not. The community should need you, and if they don't need you, that's a problem as a church.
Yes. Because everyone feels persecuted, but it's not persecution if it's truth. You know? You know, if it's like, you're not an essential service, please close your doors. They're persecuting us. Our freedoms are being stepped on. Bruh, you're not an essential service. Close your doors.
Private companies.
Yes. Awesome. Courtney, any thoughts there?
I got a bit sidetracked by our last bit of the discussion. I forgot what we started with.
No, it's just kind of final thoughts on anything.
Yeah, I think that model you were talking about now is quite an epic thought, you know, kind of like a roster of community parents keeping each other from not burning out and making sure that the kids are all raised by good leadership. That sounds like the dream. Honestly, just to have that, you know, you're going to have some time off now, you know, your kids are safe. If you can build that community with people with the right intentions, with the right love. I mean, I see in South Africa, there's lots of foster kids, there's lots of orphans, there's lots of people growing up without parents as adults, you know. And I think if we can just get over the fact that you're born into a family and that's your family, if you break that mentality and you realize that you as a healed person could be a mom or dad to anyone, you start to build that community. You know, you start to look outside of yourself and your culture that you were raised in, and you just realize that all together we are mothers and fathers to all the lost children here. That model of like the roster of parents sounds so epic to me. Everyone just working together. It's like, okay, all the teenagers are going there now, all the babies are going here. It's your turn to all go have a break, and then everyone shifts around the schedule. It's amazing because nobody would ever burn out. These kids would
Well,
be
that's what the
raised by a
goodness of
community
God
of
looks
like
like.
epic leaders. I mean, wow. You
No, but that's literally what the goodness of God looks like. You know, the goodness
Yeah.
of God is what leads people to metanoia, to the renewing of their minds, to repentance,
Yeah.
to literally change. And you know, if the community doesn't feel the goodness of God through the goodness of His children, you're not going to see a change in your community.
Yeah.
No.
Amen. So I think
Amen.
we're going to start Wednesday services here soon, and I think we must figure out like how we can actually make that like a date night for parents out there, you know, in Paris as well. Like we start that model in Paris as well, and see. We're going to have to like practice what we preach, eh, Christy?
Yes.
Well, we sort of
Yeah.
got that going here. We keep all the kids here while people go to service. As soon as we've got that play center up and running, I'll take all the kids.
You take them all. Yes.
Take all the kids.
I think Opa Ronnie's like he's going there. We managed to get some money for cement, so
Yeah.
and sand.
I saw they were
So
up
he's
there with the
going.
bricks. What a miracle.
Jeez, Christy.
So exciting.
Listen, Christy, where's all these Bitcoin billionaires, man? Hunt them down.
I don't
Go and
know.
speak to them. Go find them.
Them talk to
Amen.
them, get their money.
Yes, go get those Bitcoin. Anyway, well, thank you everybody for all the nice comments. I didn't. Greg's right. If I was in Fort Walton, the first thing I do is throw out those drums. I like loud drums. It must be electronic in small halls. Loud drums are fine in massive halls, you know.
Yeah,
There's a prophetic word. I don't know if you read it.
I did. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you,
I
Philip.
love this.
Awesome, man.
There are
Greg
such
says the
great
American
things
dream
coming.
is independence and freedom. Yeah, I mean, it's only truth that sets you free, not having a big car and a lot of money.
Yeah.
Feels like churches around here, so he's referring to the area where he is. Wouldn't even be missed if they closed because they're not serving the community, but rather just focusing on themselves. Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, get our finances up like I want to, Philip. We'll plant an Overcomers right there, and then the first thing that we'll fund is people who can help babysit children, and you start your ministry. Just babysitting. So funny. Godly principles. Amen. Yeah. Greg says, become an every other Sunday conversation what to do with the drums.
It has. Oh, it's so bad, y'all. It's so bad. It has. It's every other. It's like every Sunday. I think the lead team walks in and we go, oh man, what do we do?
Play them quietly.
Hey, there's the mighty Elizabeth.
Hi, Liz.
Hello. Yes.
Chris, I've got some homework for you. Christy,
Yes,
Are you
yes.
ready?
Sorry,
are you excited? Are you listening?
I'm listening.
Okay, so once a week, need you, Liz, Victoria, and Lacey.
Okay.
Can we do it? You
Yeah.
tell me when. I mean,
don't-
I'll do whenever.
Okay. Let me say this. Lacey's out of town this week. Then Lacey are both in town next week, and then they're both out the week after that. So, but let me get with her and see what we can do next week. I'll get with her, Liz, and Victoria, and see what we can do to get on with you next week.
Just one power session, even. That
It would be a lot of fun, actually. We'd love it.
Yeah.
Because if we do it, because if we have like a set time, you know, that's the time, and you can choose. I mean, I'm happy to go live anytime. 3 o'clock in the morning for me. I don't mind. I'm awake anyway. You know. So if you, because my standard time that I'm live is 3 o'clock South African time and 8 o'clock South African time. Those are the standard times that I go live.
Wait,
But
3
I'm happy
p.m.
with-
and then like 8 a.m. or 8
Yeah.
p.m.
p.m.
8 p.m. So it's 3
Yeah, right
p.m.
now
and
it's
8
night
p.m.
time for us.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would love it if you guys could come up with, okay, like once a week, this works. Because as part of the Overcomers online family, yeah, Craig says it's 1 o'clock your time, which would be the one we're doing now.
Yeah.
It's like the Overcomers online family. I'd like to have, and every now and then, if you've got time, like you can do maybe 2 a week if you want to, where you with like Courtney and Alex, or it depends on, I know you're all very busy.
Yeah.
But the more we can have, I'd really like to have a lot of ladies chatting about these subjects, and once we've got a bit of rhythm and we know it's consistent, then we can start having girls asking questions and guys asking questions, and you guys can just sit and
Yeah.
answer questions,
Yeah.
It is so
Amazing.
powerful. The best responses that we have is really when we've got positive, strong women on the streams, because like you say, there's this expectation and this, again, social construct of what a feminist looks like. I am a pro-feminist man, but not stupidity. I don't like stupidity.
And that's
I
the thing.
love
Feminism right now, the way it's explained, is horrendous. I don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
But I think we all are feminists. Like we're for women,
Yeah.
being the best that they can be, not being put away to the side. But the feminists now, they're not feminists. They just are selfish individuals that want what they want. It's
Yeah.
completely different what they want.
Attention prostitutes, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's a good one.
so I think it's very necessary, and I believe it will really help, help ministries, help your ministries in the United States, and our team will be able to do little cool TikTok snips, and and I'd love lots of sound bites to put out and tag you guys and get real wisdom out there.
Yeah.
So, we're working hard on putting together a very strong multimedia crew and cranking out anti-woke, not anti as in against,
Yeah.
but anti as in pro, what a real feminist looks like, what a real strong woman looks like, what a
Wholesome
'cause-
consciousness.
yes,
Yeah.
it's, and also bring a lot of healing to those who've got questions. Sorry, I know I'm eating a lot of your time, Christy. Is it, one of the keys to successful ministry is to say what other people have been thinking but are too scared to say, because they're afraid they'll get rejected. And when they hear
Yeah.
someone strong
Yeah.
like Christy say it, someone confident and beautiful, and all those factors that people are so everybody feels ugly.
Yeah.
Our three precepts here
Yeah.
at Overcomers. Everybody's broken. Don't
Yeah.
expect anybody to be mature, and don't think that age means anything when it comes to knowledge and maturity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they, so in a sense of brokenness, it's the self-preservation instinct that produces this kind of crazy feminism and toxic masculinity, and all these are all just fruit on a tree. And so I feel I'm motivating my pressure no pressure strategy, but I'm really motivating that it helps so much if we can have a set time. I know you guys are all busy, but there's a but.
No,
it's
and
strong.
Andrew,
Yeah.
even if it's like, maybe it's not 4 of us at the one time, maybe that's, you
Yeah.
can schedule that, but if it's at least 2 of us at the same time every week, you know what I mean? So at least you're
Yes.
talking to 2 of the 4 of us,
Yeah.
I think that would be great. Yeah, I will work on that.
And we can also mix it up, we can say, if you want to, just depends on how much appetite, maybe between you and Katlejo's my new PA, and who did I say someone else could? I don't know. Anyway, I'd love it if there's kind of a team who's saying, okay, on the women's ministry side,
Yeah.
let's get. I'd love to have a lady on every day at some point. You know?
No, that would be amazing. I mean, Tanya and I have set up I think it's 5 social media platforms now for the
Okay.
Overcomers online family specifically. And if we start now bringing in, say, like a women's session onto the
Yes.
YouTube, the TikToks, everything, and just start filling that up, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
Have
cranking
like
out these one-liners, man.
Mighty men
Like,
things.
just,
yeah.
like, flood those worker
Yeah.
thingies. Anyway, so also we're going to bring on a lot of dads as well. I want to have someone explaining how to do a tie.
Yeah.
So I love it. I see it all over the place.
love
like how to do a tie, and really like create an environment where we're starting proactively to show what an international community
Yes.
of moms looks like, an international community of sisters, brothers,
Mhm.
fathers,
Fathers, yeah.
answering questions that most dads don't know how to be dads.
Yeah.
I mean, the fatherlessness in South Africa, I don't know if it's a real statistic. I saw 55%, but the government statistic is over 80% of
80, yeah.
of children are fatherless, which is
Wow.
why there's such incredible violence against women and children. Our president actually just said, let me just go over here. He said there is a war. He said our country is at war with our women and children.
Yeah.
That was the headline on the news. Let me just have a look here. Hey, Stephen, good to see you, man. I want to bring Stephen on as well, man. Just see. Let me see here. Where is it? It's already slipped down. But I think it was yesterday's headline where the president of the country said that our nation is at war with our women and children. You know, so if we my vision for this thing every day, 3 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 8 o'clock, we're just answering questions, being moms and dads and brothers
Yeah.
and sisters, and yeah, that's it. Anyway, so
That'd
thanks
be
so much,
amazing.
man. Thank
No,
you.
thank you, Ray.
Courtney.
Thank you. It was fun. I was glad I was able to hop on. So
Oh, me too. It's so nice to see you again.
I know. I miss you guys so
Veronica's
much.
watching. She misses you so much.
I'm like, when can we go back? How soon?
Yes, please. Oh man.
Yes, finances.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, that's a major prayer point,
topic.
man. We're ready to rock and roll. We have got, you know, that massive sound truck and trailers and bus and vans. We're ready to rock and roll. Now it's just resources. And I think the more we grow this online family, the more we can expose the vision. I'm busy with a
Yeah.
little blurb that will share the vision every single time the stream starts and ends.
Oh, nice.
And we'll show visuals and that kind of thing. So I think that'll help a lot.
Yeah.
So awesome. Thanks for watching, Corin.
Hi.
Corin's so awesome, man.
Man, I miss you as well.
Come on, Greg.
come join us, Igor.
Greg. Play the lotto, man.
Oh,
That's one way to get
So what's-
finances. Listen,
or lose all of them.
that's also true.
Oh, man.
Geez, like I was visualizing, as is my custom, but I was visualizing, this one vision everywhere strategy. It's like so many, we have so many ministers in this family across the world who speak the same language, which is
Yeah.
kingdom and community, that people can't tell who's the leader, who's
Yes.
who's leading this
Yeah.
thing, and it's
Yeah.
just Jesus.
Exactly.
There's no,
Mhm.
Exactly. It is the community.
I mean, you must see the. Let me show this to you. Have you got another 5 to 10 minutes, Christy? Can I show you
I've got
something
like
ridiculous?
5 more minutes, and then
5
I've
minutes,
got
okay.
to go do
This
some
is
like
worth the
finance
laugh.
stuff.
Shame, eh? I'm so grateful. You gave like 1.5 hours, man.
I know. was so
Check
happy.
out Greg
to do
and Philip. Those two are hilarious. He says, I'm
I
billionaire,
was just
you're
watching
vigilante. And then Philip's like, I'll be your trusted sidekick.
They'd be like the
Batman
tallest
and Robin.
vigilantes ever. You didn't hide
The
them.
tallest vigilante.
Everyone's gonna see you coming.
They are
They'd
tall,
see you
those
coming,
two.
guys.
I gotta find this.
Hide in the trees.
Yep.
So Elizabeth, are you keen for our at least once a week? Hey, you just plan it, man. Okay, I've just got to find this. I gotta find. I still haven't found what I'm looking
The
for.
world needs more powerful women like you four. Seriously, like you'll see as our Simisonke thing rolls out the impact you've all had on everyone. Just
I
as
love the video that y'all put out yesterday, I guess. That was so awesome.
yeah,
It was really amazing. I loved it.
it's been quite a thing because I
awesome.
got there right at the end. So interviewing everyone was quite interesting because it was like a totally outside perspective. Please tell me what you experienced, and wow, you had such an impact here. Like I can't even explain it. Thank you.
Well, you guys
Oh,
had
there's a
just as
couple
much of an
more.
impact to us, honestly. I mean,
Thank
we
you.
talk about you guys all the time.
Oh, well, we should
Okay.
go there sometime.
Yes, please come.
So Tanya is like working on these things. This is what I love about our
Yes.
vision is, I mean, like I don't get to be this mighty man of God. I mean, like I'm like, let's make some clips and these are the thumbnails, and this is now Tanya. Let me see now.
So epic.
yeah.
I'm laughing
love
so
it.
hard as we're doing this.
She's working on these thumbnails. I mean, it's like,
Oh man. Yeah.
I mean, there's no like Superman of God, power of the hour. My team is like, this is how we see you.
It is epic though.
Now, I would love to see like the funny moments compilation. Like that would be amazing to watch.
There's the one where I was trying to ask you, but they're working on that. Yeah, the funny moments
Yeah.
compilation. Is it? Yeah, it's like interesting efforts. What the heck?
I bet you could do some real things telling people how to take care of their hair. Like
Yeah,
that
I
would be
could definitely do
interesting.
that. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm so
that's-
excited for this
I
thing.
wanted to waste your 5 minutes with that, Christy.
I'm here for it.
Awesome. Thanks, ladies. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Look at
thank
these
you.
two. They're still going on about.
I know the vigilantes.
It's so cool. Look at them. Leon's like, go for gold, I said, but I go for God. Let him be. Blessings, people. Cheers. Love you, Leon. Thanks, man. I'm going to be king of the pirates. I'm coming for you, Jeff Bezos. Your yacht and the Russian yachts are mine. What's going on?
I love how there's this estrogen party going on and some vigilantes to the side.
Yes. Yeah, it's like there's like their beards are growing, their muscles are growing, the testosterone is squirting because of the balance in the force. Where's my handbag? Are you missing my
yes.
handbag, Christy?
It's so cute. I love it. Where's your
Evidently
matching
you-
watch?
What is this thing?
Right, yeah.
That was the sweetest thing I saw my whole time there.
Oh, the battery's flat. I've even got like a little pink dragon walking here now. It's
love
Ahava.
it.
She's my boss, man. She's like, Donna, where's your handbag? I'm like, hee hee. What the heck? The Overcomers Liberation Yacht. It's actually part of my dream is that when I leave here, I want to jump on this. We get this massive ship, and all of us around the world, we've got successful ministries, and now we just go on these massive crusades throughout.
Wow.
You know, stop at all the ports, all the way up to Somalia. So I mean, with Jaden and his team, the pirates can come. You know, we'll introduce
Yeah.
them to Jesus.
Oh, wow.
But like do crusades all the way up the coast of Africa,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and and you go with a massive ship, so your ship becomes the stage.
Yeah.
Parks
That
at
would
a
be
coast
amazing.
somewhere.
One of those old oil tanker ships.
Goodness
You need to
gracious,
throw
an
a
oil
garden
tank.
on the top.
No,
No,
I was
man.
thinking a cruise
It's like-
liner. A
Okay, fine.
big
As
cruise
long as
liner.
I can grow a garden somewhere.
Yeah, no, there'll be room. No, I want a big old cruise liner, massive thing. So
Yeah.
that Christy wants a room for her and her 2 husbands.
That's a lot. I'd really rather
That is a lot.
That's fine.
Plus, look at these two; they're still hanging out, Philip and Greg. Anyway, on that note, love you all. Thank you, everybody. Thank
Love
you
you.
for
Thank
partnering
you,
with
guys.
us. You can go to www.overcomers.co.za. Last thought from Christian: why you should give us money?
Because they're changing the culture. They're coming in and they're bringing in the culture of Jesus, and they're truly making a change. You can see it when you go there. You can see the love and the joy that the people have who are part of this ministry. They're not doing it just because they're getting a paycheck. They're doing it because they're truly wanting to change the culture that they're in, and it's good soil. So into it.
Woo! Amen.
Thank you. Good job. Good job, Courtney. Thank you so much, Christy.
Yeah,
Bye.
Have
Thank
a
you,
wonderful
guys.
evening, everybody.
Bye, Christy.
Love you all.
Bye. Love you.
Let-
Bye.
Toodles.
Toodles.
Look at this bromance between Philip and Greg developing.
So sweet.
It's awesome.
All right. Bye.
Love you all, everybody. Bye.